I was like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, snakes. They're interesting. Like these little things. Like, oh no no no. Don't that's a venomous bushwhacker. Don't touch that. That's a. Welcome back, life forms, to another digging a hole slash story time. In the last episode, I think I talked about California and the death ray sun, and whoa, look how satisfying this is. And we got a drill. And I also talked about man caves and Gary's Mod servers. Yeah. And then I had like a brief stint about AI and everything. Anyway, this episode of Digging a Hole slash Story Time, we are going to be enjoying this drill. Oh, it's so nice. I can just hold it down. I don't have to click anymore. Peak laziness. I love this. My fingers had enough of a workout. I think doing this little easy workout's pretty good. Maybe I'll give it a stretch later. Maybe, drink some Gatorade after this. And take my finger to the, I don't know, sports. I don't know where I was going with that. Anyway, let me jump into another story. Because that's what this series is about. It's about me telling stories, but it's about you telling stories. So if you have a story about your life, leave it in the comments. I want to hear it. I love hearing stories. All right. So there was a time I just got out of college, I think. Did I just get out of college? Or was it online college? And if you know anything about online college, any of you who had to take college during the pandemic, it's horrible. You get all the schoolwork without any of the college experience, and you feel like you're getting screwed over, and you're paying a metric crap ton. Let's be real, a fortune to go to this college, and you're just getting the work, and it's just transactional. There's no humanity in it because you're just online. And I had to do a lot of asynchronous classes, and that's just awful. I don't like to cry or anything. Not cry. What's it, whine or anything on these videos? But just real talk, it was awful. I was very sad. So I had to find a way to get out, to get away from the stupid online asynchronous no human college. So I was like, I need to get out of there. What do I like to do? Well, one thing I like to do is I love to be outside. Oh my gosh, I love the forest. I love trees and mountains and cliffs and valleys, whatever it is. Love it all. So I went to this. I probably shouldn't say the name of the organization. I don't know. Just shouldn't. Even though I didn't have a bad experience, I had a great experience, but I just won't say it. But I found this organization that takes you out on wilderness outings. The particular one I found was like an 8-day expedition into the North Carolina mountains in the Pisgah National Forest. If anyone has ever heard of that, it's home to the Linville Gorge, which is basically North Carolina's Grand Canyon. Very, very cool. And I was like, okay, that sounds really fun. I like cliffs and stuff. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna sign up. The packing was crazy. I mean, there was a lot of things you had to get to spend 8 days in the wilderness because, when you're in civilization, if you need something, you just go into the store. You just go to your pantry or your clothes closet. Get nothing out there. You have to take it all with you. Inventory's full again. Dag nabbit. But yeah. So I had to pack a lot of. They gave us a list of what to pack. I had to pack this really cool thermal shirt that because when we're gonna sleep out in the middle of nowhere. So we're gonna need something to keep us warm through the night. So I got a thermal shirt. I got, just light, a headlamp, just basically any kind of anything you would expect to need to bring. And the rest was provided. Like a backpack was provided. Those giant hiking backpacks that the backpackers use. Ugh. I don't have the best back, so yeah, that was a trial. I'll get to that though. So went to my local airport in the eastern United States. I took off. Wasn't that long of a flight to um, to North Carolina. It was such a nice airport there. Everything in North Carolina is just beautiful. I landed near Asheville. I think in the Asheville Regional Airport. Everything about North Carolina is just so pretty. Um, so I got there and what was I? Oh yeah, I met everyone at the airport. Was very happy to see everybody. They were all like my age, all around my level of expertise with going in the wilderness. And I was like, okay, all right. So we got into the inventory full again. It's because this drill just eats everything. So we got to the bus. Or in the van. We all piled into the back of a van with all of our stuff in the back. You know, typical outing, like field trip type style, where you put all your crap in the back of the van and then you all sit in the van. And then we started driving through rural North Carolina, which was so pretty. Oh man, ow, God, son of a. But yeah, rural North Carolina is very very pretty. Driving through there, but then we started to kind of leave the farm areas, and we started to go really deep in the sticks. Um, and we turned off into this gravel road, and it was like, what's is this movie I'm thinking of? It's like in Godzilla when they were going to Middle Earth or something, or I don't know. Maybe that's not a good example, but you're there. We were going down that gravel road. Oh, more LSD, sweet. We were going down that gravel road for hours. Like, it was a couple hours of just winding around that gravel road. We were all just sitting in the back. You know, our asses were starting to hurt because the van kept bumping as we got jostled up and down. As we were turning round and round on down this dirt road, surrounded by nothing but forest. So we were in the Pisgah National Forest at that point. And actually, we before we got to that point, we stopped at a local convenience store just to use the bathroom and get some snacks. And there was this guy who was from North Carolina, and he asked us what we were doing, and I was like, "You ever heard of the Pisgah National Forest?" And he was like, "No, I never heard of that." I'm like, but you live here, like you live like right next to. I've never heard of it. That's so it's like, oh, so where are we going? If not even the locals have heard about it, uh, where the hell are we going? So we were just going all the way back in that dirt road or gravel road, and we eventually got to our site. We're just like the van just pulled up and parked just right on the side of the road, and we got out, got our stuff. The van pulled away, and we were just out in the middle of nowhere. And oh man, it felt good. Like, because usually when you're hiking, when you're going on a hike with your family or your friends, you're like, yeah, we could just turn around in an hour and we'll just go back and then just hit up like McDonald's or something. Ugh. And just hit up like a supermarket. You know, you're out in the wild, or you're out in the nature, but you're not really out in the wild. We were out in the wild, and that was cool. So the first night, we had to set up our tarps, and we had to set up a bear hang, which is basically when you take all of your smellies, like your food, your toothpaste, everything that has a scent to it, tie it all together, and then shove it up in a tree with a pulley system. And that way, when we're all sleeping at night, if a bear comes by, he's going to be so distracted by the bear hang and trying to reach for it that he's just not even going to notice us, and he's not going to, rip our heads off or something. So that was interesting. I was like, oh yeah, it's right, bears. And you think bears are the biggest, baddest things things to be feared the most in North Carolina, in the woods, the black bears. But actually, there was something kind of worse than bears on the trip, and that was snakes. So we, so the first couple days were really fun. Um, just out in it was just like heaven, Al. I was writing in my journal next to a creek, with surrounded by woods, and knowing that there was like no way out. Oh, I love the feeling. I love the feeling of just being committed out there. Um, and we found this car. It was this weird, shady car in the middle of nowhere. It looked like it had been abandoned for days, or no, more days, months. And we didn't want to open the trunk because we were worried there was like a body in there, and we don't really want to see a body if you can avoid it. So we just we kind of just let the car go as we kept camping. And then eventually we got to a little part, or no, wait a second. Where was I? No, wait. Let me backtrack just a bit. So we eventually we got to the part where we were going to hike up to Linville Gorge, which is the Grand Canyon of the East Coast. Highly recommend. Look it up if you look it up. Look up some pictures. It's really cool. So we had to go to Linville Gorge, and so again, I don't have a great back. My back is not fantastic. I have a little bit of a disability, and part of that disability includes back problems. So I was carrying this backpack the whole time that was like 60 pounds, and that's almost more than half of my body weight. And it sucked. I mean, I was able to put a lot of it around my waist, but it was still a lot of my back. And there was a certain point where I was like, ow, yeah, like that. I was like, there's red going around my screen, and my health bar was going down. Ow, as I was using that backpack. But I was like, you know what? I could do this. You know what? I can. I'm not gonna. I don't know. I'm not gonna say I can't do this, because then I'd be screwed. I'd be stuck out here. So my only option was to say I can do this. My back was killing me so bad, but I was like, yeah, but these trees are so beautiful, it's worth it. I kept hiking, and we made it to the top, and I was so much pain, but I just wanted to keep to myself because I didn't want to be a downer, a Debbie Downer to anybody else. And eventually, we made it to the absolute pinnacle near Table Rock, which is this really nice cliff. And I was like, so what are we gonna do now? Are we gonna like rest, have some lunch? Are we gonna take some pictures? Like, no, we're gonna do some rock climbing. Oh, son of a Meg! You told me I got to rock climb after all that? Oh man, it was like a punch in the chest. I was like, no, please. But I ended up doing it. I ended up rock climbing, and I realized, not to toot my own horn, I was pretty dang good at it. The belayer had to tell me to slow down, because I was just, ooh yeah, LSD. I was just dancing up that rock face easily. It was very, very satisfying. I was like, dang, I should just do rock climbing for the rest of my life. Do rock climbing competitions. And no way. Nope, not doing that. I play too many video games. My hands are too brittle and in constant agony. I'm not gonna do rock climbing forever. Oh, battery critical. Ugh, but anyway, I was like, all right, I conquered it. I realized I'm more capable than I originally thought. I can do much more than I believe I can. You know, all that yada yada. Yay! I got the experience. I was like, all right. But it wasn't over because when we were hiking back down, we had to set up camp one night and we sleep on the side of a. We slept on the side of a mountain, just a little bit away from the base, and that's when I finally had my first number 2. And it was the best doo-doo I've ever taken, because I was just sitting on the side of a cliff with nothing below me but a hole, and it was just in just the woods. And I was like, if this is how man took a doo-doo before we had civilization and bathroom and toilets, what were we doing? Why do we ever move into houses? It was an experience. And every time I take a doo-doo, I'm like, man, I wish I could just teleport back to that spot and doo-doo all over again. Anyway, so that was great. But then we made it to an abandoned rail track. I think it was like used somewhere around the Revolutionary War. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe not the Revolutionary War. Not very good with history in that area. But it was a logging trail. It was abandoned, and it became like a path, kind of like those rail trails become paths, hiking spots. And then that's when we started to see the first snakes. And I was like, oh, okay, cool, yeah, snakes, they're interesting, like these little things. Like, oh, no, don't, that's a venomous bushwhacker, don't touch that. That's a obviously I wasn't gonna touch it. I'm not that dumb. But I was like, nope, that's a venomous bushwhacker. There's another one, like a 3-headed leaf or rack of death killer or whatever. There was just a lot of different venomous snakes, and I was like, oh, cool. So we just got to be careful. And I got a stick. I started to put the stick in front of every step I took. Like, I'm not getting venomed. I'm not getting airlifted out of here. No. I don't want that to happen. I don't want to be that guy, because then I'm going to be remembered as the guy who got bit and had to get airlifted out. No. But then we made it to the abandoned logging trail. We made it to the valley, and it was really interesting for one, because it was like it felt almost biblical, if that makes sense, because it was just us, nothing else out there except this one path that was cutting through the forest, and we were just following it. And when we got tired, we stopped and set up camp. It was really biblical. It was kind of one of the most peaceful experiences of my life, honestly. Especially the part when I got to actually just drink straight up mountain water. That was cool. We had to filter it, of course, but it was still very clean. But then the night came, and one of our instructors were like, just, remember there's a bunch of venomous snakes around. So anyway, set up your tarp, sleep on the ground, and have a good night. I'm like, now hold up, excuse me. Wait, you mean there's venomous snakes? Yeah, they could just be in those trees over there or those bushes. But now put your tarps down and have a good night. I'm like, okay. So I grasped my stick and I held that stick with a death grip. I was like, nobody's taking this stick from me. And I became snake guy. I became like snake patrol. I was like, any snakes there? Do you see a snake? Was there a snake? I didn't want to get bit. Oh man, I don't want to get bit by a venomous snake. Does anybody want to get bit by a venomous snake? No, of course not. So I started started just putting the stick in front of all my steps, telling people like, hey, just look out for the snakes. Just remember that. There's venomous snakes around. And then we took a sleep, over the night, and I decided I was gonna sleep out under the stars. And oh, that was another biblical experience. When you're just sleeping out in front of the stars, you have nothing but your what's below you. You have no, room, no house, not even a tent. That was nice. But the whole night, I was just like, "There's gonna be a snake in my sleeping bag. There's gonna be a snake in there." I never got bit. No one got bit, thankfully. Um, but we did see. Oh, look at this! Look how much money I have. What am I doing? Oh, did I just get the best drill in the game? I just got the best drill in the game. Just casually getting the best drill in the game. Bang, ha. Anyway, what was I? Hey, it was a very no one got bit. We were good. We survived. But our problems weren't over. Um, one day we woke up and it was raining. So you woke up, you had to it was like cold rain too. It was mountain rain. Yes. Oh, I'm gonna be so much LSD. Yeah, LSD achievement. But we woke up to rain. That was pretty crappy. I was trying to make coffee as I was getting like pelted with rain. Then I got rain in my coffee and coffee in my rain. That was the worst. Yes, I'm gonna get so high. All right. Oops. That. But it cleared up pretty fast, so that was good. I think something else bad happened. Oh, I had a dream that Mr. Krabs was like trying to kill SpongeBob, and Patrick was like playing a platform game as Mr. Krabs was standing in the background, telling him not to fuck up, basically. Oh, we just accidentally found a money bag. Sweet. So that was my weird dream out in the middle of nowhere. I was looking for Bigfoot the whole time. Couldn't find him. Yes, I'm a believer. Sue me. I couldn't find him. And oh, I got myself killed. Whoops. That's what you get when you don't pay attention, when you're digging a hole. You get got by the simulation. I'm just gonna pretend that never happened, right? Yeah, you guys aren't gonna leave any comments that I just stupidly lost all my battery. Anyway, I think we're probably approaching the 30-minute mark or something. So I'm gonna wrap this up. But yeah, that was my story of spending 8 days in the wilderness. Wasn't everything that happened, but it was all the parts that I kind of was like, uh-oh. Very, very fun. Gonna do it again. Ow. Megan. I'm gonna do it again. Maybe this time out west somewhere. My back is still messed up. But you know what? You either can choose to play it safe and have a boring life, or you can choose to take risks and get out there and then have a story to tell all your friends and all your viewers. Oh, you guys are my friends. I'm sorry. Should have put those two together. To tell all your friends as you're digging a hole with a drill. Because that's why you go out on these trips, so you can tell all your friends while you're digging a hole with a drill. Ooh, we just found. Okay, we'll wrap up the episode with another little excavation here. Let me just shove my big fat ass into here. New material, platinum, found. Get out of my way. Get out of my way. Now, you piles of poop. Thank you. Okay. Bang. Hallelujah. Dynamite lamp and $515. Buckaroonies. Big ones. Smackaroonies. Okay. Again, that one didn't happen too. I'm not trying hard. I'm just being casual with this game. Probably tell. Yeah. So anyway, moral of that story is do something that makes you uncomfortable. Get out there. If you so you have a story to tell. Ow. Do something that makes you lose health in your health bar, but have a story to tell. Because you know that's to me that's what life's about. It's about experiencing stuff and having stories to tell about it. Not for the fanfare of it all, not to spice up the parties, but just for your own, just for yourself, you know. Anyway, yeah, like I had to take a risk. I had to risk face my fears when I did some skydiving, which I can tell that in the next episode. So stay tuned. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, leave a like button, or don't leave a like button. There's already one down there, but leave a like and drop a little subscribe while you're at it. And also, if you have a story to tell, leave it in the comments. I want to hear it. Thanks a lot for watching. See you on the next video. Take care.